when devotion learns to touch the ground. For most of my life, I believed that inner peace had to come through devotion to something higher, something beyond the body, beyond this world, beyond anything the mind could measure. And that longing is still true in me. It has shaped much of my journey. But something unexpected has begun to shift, not away from devotion, but towards a new understanding of where devotion is actually lived. I'm beginning to see that the quest for peace is not separate from biology, that the nervous system itself may be one of the ways the divine speaks. What I once disregarded as mere human science, what I once suspected as humanistic or somehow less spiritual, is now beginning to look like a language of spirit encoded in flesh. It may be that spirituality and psychology are not rivals at all, only two sides of the same campfire story. What if spirit is not found by escaping the human condition, but through inhabiting it without fear? When love is felt, the nervous system settles. When compassion arrives, inflammation decreases. When presence deepens, breath changes. When forgiveness emerges, the heart rate softens. Is this not sacred? Is this not a form of devotion? Is this not biology as scripture? Perhaps the separation between spirituality and science was never natural, only inherited. And perhaps the real maturation of devotion is to discover that God is not beyond the body, but within it, waiting to be recognized. And so I offer this reflection not as doctrine, but as orientation. Not in opposition to faith, but as its embodiment. And not a departure from the sacred, but as a way of letting the sacred finally touch the ground. Through breath, through tissue, through reactivity softening into peace. What follows is a teaching I call visceral forgiveness, the nervous system's path to peace. It is a way of seeing that may help us live gently with what moves inside us and learn to rest in the presence that has always endured. There are moments in life when something shifts. It's not in the mind, but it's in the body. A realization dawns quietly. Much of what we called failure was simply the nervous system trying to survive, trying to find safety in the only way it knew how. This reflection is not theory. It is remembrance, the kind that helps us live more gently with what moves inside us. Why do we react? Let's begin simply by looking at why we react. not to judge or diagnose or analyze, but to understand the body's language. Reactivity is not weakness. It is not proof of failure. It is the body's attempt to regulate itself, especially when safety has not yet been felt. When the system feels threatened, it reaches for what it can. This comes in the form of anger, withdrawal, addictions, distraction, chasing perfection, clinging to identity, fleeing intimacy, chasing affection. All of these are strategies of survival. And these are not flaws of character. They are physiological attempts to cope under pressure. The question then changes from, what is wrong with me, to, what is my body trying to protect me from? The limits of survival mode. Survival strategies work, but only briefly. They can soothe for a moment, but then they disappear. The ache returns, the cycle repeats. And through this repetition, the nervous system whispers, safety has not yet arrived. When safety is absent, the body reacts. But when safety is felt, presence becomes possible. The bridge, daily self-regulation. Gentle practices such as breath awareness, somatic grounding, setting boundaries, or quietly removing ourselves from conflict become pathways towards inner safety. These are not escapes, they are repairs. Every moment of self-regulation gives the body one powerful message. I do not have to react in order to exist. And when the body begins to believe this, clarity emerges, compassion surfaces, forgiveness becomes possible, not as a belief, but as a felt shift. Visceral forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean approval. It does not erase consequence. It simply recognizes each human being was trying to feel safe, some without the tools to do it so wisely. Seeing this does not justify harm, but it does release hatred. The inner war loses its opponent. The nervous system no longer needs to defend against what has already happened. This is functional healing, not sentiment. It returns the body to rhythm. It restores breath. It frees presence. How to live from this awareness. No perfect method is required. Only orientation, a way of remembering. Whenever reactivity arises, Name it without judgment. My body is trying to feel safe. When emotion swells, pause, breathe, feel into it. Allow the wave to crest and pass on its own. And when memories appear, let them come, but do not follow them. Every echo is a visitor. It's not a verdict. When peace appears, let it be ordinary and do not cling to it. There's no need to analyze it. Let it arrive and let it depart. The quiet revolution. Self-regulation and forgiveness are not two pathways. They are the same doorway. One belongs to the body, one to the heart. And when they meet, presence becomes possible. The torment of self begins to loosen its hold. This is not moral victory, it is biological permission. The nervous system finally allowed to rest. Spirituality, psychology, religion, none of these matter unless they reach the nervous system and change the way we breathe in ordinary moments. The true maturation of presence begins when we stop blaming the human condition and start listening to it. Let this be the only line we preserve. My nervous system is not my enemy. It has always tried to protect me. Now it is learning how to rest. And this is how forgiveness begins. This is a teaching, and it is also a remembering. Presence endures, and now your body is beginning to believe it.